Fortunately for Lamar, I can't even keep up with all the injuries. We got a new one, different body part every single week, like a game of operation. Peter, are the Ravens legit Super Bowl contenders at this point?
At this point, no. If they win on Thursday, I'm willing to put them in the conversation. Consider this. They were 1-5 when they played the Bears a few weeks ago. They won that game with Snoop Huntley. They have won 5 straight games, and they haven't looked good doing it. We haven't even seen them scratch the surface of what we hope they can be, and they still found a way to win 5 games. They're 6-5. They're in first place in the AFC North. They're expected to be in the playoffs. In their schedule coming up, they still have the Bengals twice and the Steelers twice. Then you go from there, and you also have New England, Green Bay. If you're telling me that this team can go ahead and run this table, that would mean they had won 5 straight, add in 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 straight games going into the playoffs. And we haven't even seen them play Ravens football yet. You know, John Harbaugh has a famous saying, says, it's not pretty, it's not perfect, it's us. Well, it hasn't been pretty, it has been far from perfect, and yet they're stacking the wins. They have a tough competition this weekend. They play on Thursday night against Joe Burrow and this Bengals team. They start rattling off these wins. I've covered the 2007 Giants. I've covered the 2010 Packers, where they don't look good up until Thanksgiving, and then suddenly it's like, wait a second, they're finally healthy, they've gotten it going, and now they've got a little momentum going. They're not Super Bowl contenders right now. They don't belong in the same conversation as the Rams or even some of these other teams in the AFC. You win on Thursday night, that's 6 straight wins. Lamar gets another one under his belt, gets a little healthy with a long rest. I would say maybe, just maybe, this might be one of those hot teams.
And I got to see a lot more than beating the Cincinnati Bengals, who are 3-8 and are awful. And even if Burrow does come back, their offense has not been a problem. Their defense is terrible. So beating the Bengals on Thursday, to me, won't mean a lot. Listen, they beat the Bears, they've beaten the Dolphins, Minnesota, Cleveland, and the Jets in the last 5 weeks for this 5-game winning streak. They were in trouble with the Jets. They trailed in the third quarter. The Browns could have won, for crying out loud.
Shedeur.
I mean, so when you think about it, I just have not been nearly as impressed as you think you would be with a 5-game winning streak. Here's the issue to me. Lamar's, whatever it is, as Shay said during the break, whether it's ankle, hamstring, he's not 100. He missed 4 or 5. He missed 3-4 games. Oh. He's not 100%. And if you are not 100% and he can't run, that dual threat, because he is an incredible runner.
He's not running. He
can't do that. That makes him half the quarterback than he would normally be. And they're not winning any Super Bowl unless he's at 100% and he can run.
Well, I definitely believe that they don't have a shot if he's not 100% and he can run. He said that even though he's missed a few games this year because of the toe injury, he said that somebody fell on him during the Jets game and that's what was ailing him, but he's feeling all right now. We'll know what the truth is based on his performance in the weeks to come. It really, really comes down to his health. I believe if he's healthy, they're a Super Bowl threat. They win the AFC North, and once they win in the AFC North, you got an entirely new season. And when you talk about their defense being awful, their defense has not been awful over the last few weeks. It started out awful over the first 6-7 weeks, giving up over 35 points a game. They were horrible, but they've been significantly better ever since, doggy. And so I look at it from that standpoint, and I look at the weapons that they still have, and I look at the potential that these dudes in a one-or-done situation, they can answer the call against anybody. And this is the interesting thing that I would throw out there, Peter, and Shay as well. Usually there's a whole bunch of expectations heaped on the shoulders of the Baltimore Ravens. They'd be playing with house money to some degree. This year, it would be a little bit different. To start out 1-5, to be considered dead and gone, for people to be booing them, for John Harbaugh's future in Baltimore to be being talked about. All of those things are happening. And then to go from that to winning 5 straight and being tied with the Steelers for first take in the AFC North, I think is incredibly significant. And I think that to turn that around and to find yourself in that situation where you all of a sudden get to the playoffs after a 1-5 start, considering how the Colts have looked, how the Patriots have looked, Jacksonville to a lesser degree, definitely Denver, the Chargers to a lesser degree, the Chiefs still being in the mix, etc. For Baltimore to find themselves in a playoff scenario, it could be very, very, very interesting because I don't think that we'll be talking about them the way that we did in the past with those expectations. And it would be interesting to see how they perform under those different circumstances.
Good news is Lamar Jackson, 21-7 in primetime games. He's very good against Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Bad news is they're 1-2 so far this season with him starting, and he doesn't look right. Only 2 runs of over 10 yards for Lamar Jackson this season. Very unlike him.
Your defense is schemed around protecting Lamar being able to do special things, and he's limited, and he looks limited.
Even when it's clean pocket throws, intermediate throws, when he's trying to hit Mark Andrews, how many throws have you seen him miss? Over the past couple of weeks?
Look at the screen.
Whoa!
Look at the screen. We got a clean sweep of Ravens. You know which way I'm going, baby.
Oh, yeah.
You know which way I'm going. Bengals are a lock.
Bengals are a lock.
Simply because of we picked.
Go the other way. Always. Go Oppo. Fade the public. Fade the
Go Oppo.
It always
I'm going
works.
to use that. Go Oppo.
Relax, cool guy.
I didn't play football.
The guy starts straightening a little bit. He's like, now he's still clean shave.
Switch it up, go other side. Fade the public. I'm a cool guy.
Fade? He said fade the public. That's what he just said.
Listen,
Cool guy.
listen. You guys were busy knowing one robber. I had a bookie I knew in college. Roll the tape. Coming up. Georgia catches in tight window throws 5 more than any player in the league. And yesterday, his boss was asked if he, Jerry Jones, envisions Pickens, who will be a free agent, winding up somewhere else next season.
No, I do not at this time. We've got 2 number 1 receivers, and that's just exceptional right at the time when, guess what, our quarterback is probably the best that he's ever been. To have 2 receivers, wideouts of this caliber, he's an outstanding, let me emphasize this again, outstanding teammate. You know, he brings energy to the team even when he's not making some of those great receptions.
It's an interesting little storyline here to consider, right? So we all thought George Pickens goes somewhere, have an enormous year, ball out, to use the expression, and then go get your money. Here's the problem. I'm on one.
You were on
anyway,
one. I like it.
It's all right. My pre-Thanksgiving excitement. But all kidding aside, you're already paying CeeDee Lamb an enormous amount of money, and he's worth every penny out of it. He's a great player. You can't pay 2 guys, right? I mean, you've got the quarterback that you're paying already. What are they going to do with George Pickens?
Probably franchise tag.
Are they going to franchise tag George Pickens?
I mean, you can't just let him go. I mean, you have to kind of. I'm not going to say the word controlled, because that's not what the tag is intended to signify. But look, I think you have to keep him under contract. But you know what I'm saying. I'm not using that word. But he is a guy you have to try and figure out a way. Because look, Cincinnati figured out a way to do it, right?
Right.
They figured out a way to do it with Lamar and
worked out for them.
Of course. But what I'm saying is, like, this is one of those things where it's a good problem to have. I mean, they took a chance. He has paid off. I think one of the reasons why he has paid off, though, as well, is something that Jerry touched on. Dak Prescott right now, you would have to say, as far as leading their football team, maybe him and Matthew Stafford are right now kind of like separating themselves as far as guys who are just elevating their football team to levels where you're sitting there going, look, I think with the Rams you expected it. With Dak, everyone always had these questions. Dak's influence on this offense and on this man in particular, you saw those, 15 tight window catches this year? Because Dak's figuring, you know what, 3 is always open. He's always open, and you can tell he's rewarding Dak with some of the most spectacular catches you've seen in the past 10, 15 years. It's
when
ridiculous.
he's not open, you throw it over there, and
Exactly.
he's going to catch it anyway. But I mean, I think to the contract point, I think oftentimes we make a lot of where the money is allocated. They can afford to pay most of those guys.
Yes.
You can definitely restructure contracts, push money later, and put the money where you want it to go. And they're playing well on defense. If you assume that this was Micah's money that was going to go to Micah Parsons to bolster that defense, now they're playing good defense. You can give that money to George Pickens. They don't have to franchise tag them.
That's exactly
they could pay
right.
all those guys and still be fine. It's a way to do it. Just because the Bengals could make it work
And avoid
doesn't
some
mean that
drama by avoiding the franchise tag.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously it takes 2 to tango, right? George is going to have to want to accept a contract that fits into the overall salary cap structure. And if I'm George Pickens right now, I'm going, hey, look, man, I got a lottery ticket